No.
Fumes rising, that's coke and cologne. Never had to question who's riding, I'm rolling alone. All I see is texts from these hoes when I open my phone. Probably cause they know I'm holding theirs and holding my own. Back to the audacity, the way that y'all moving my day.
What is going on, everybody? What's up with y'all out there? Hope you guys are feeling well. I go by the name of D Wizz, and we are back here again today. Another Power Raising Kanan Book 3 recap reaction video. We're gonna go over the key points of the episode. I'm gonna break down my opinion, you know what I'm saying, and how the episode had me feeling. So for all those that are fans of the Power universe, shout out to y'all. Want to remind you, if you ain't watched the latest episode, spoiler alert, you go ahead, watch the episode, and come back. Or continue watching at your own risk. But if you go, before you do, hit that subscribe button. When you come back to me, hit that subscribe button, and let's break it down. But without further ado, episode number 2 is titled Reaping and Sowing. Let's get right into it. So, first things first, coming off of just recapping what happened last week, we know that Kanan, he basically took it upon himself. Everything that was going down between his mother, Rock, and Unique's crew, as far as everything, as far as the territory goes. Kanan sticking his nose basically where it didn't belong. And the situation that occurred with him and D Wizz taking out Buck 20 is coming back to him in this episode. We starting to see the effects of that. And that was the theme of this episode. It starts off with, we see Kanan in bed, and as 50 Cent is narrating, he's quoting Isaac Newton. Third law of motion, I believe. For every action, there is a equal and opposite reaction. So that's pretty much the theme of the whole episode. So we open up with Kanan and his mother, Rock, at the breakfast table. Look like he getting ready for school. Kanan is, apparently he's been out of school a couple days since the whole Buck 20 shooting. And, you know, just trying to stay low, excuse me. And Rock is nervous. His mother, Raquel, she's, you know, pretty much telling him, listen, I'm scared. Maybe you should even stay, you should stay home a little while longer. He's like, nah, Mom, I'm gonna be good. She like, nah, you don't know how serious this is. So Kanan, he's playing it off, or he doesn't understand the severity of the situation. So we just see that opening scene with Rock basically going into panic mode. And, you know, we already know she's going to do what she can to protect her boy. As ruthless as she is, this is her one soft spot, is Kanan. So anyway, that's just what the first scene. It just sets that dynamic up for us. Moving forward, let me see what I got here. Second scene, I got my notes for y'all. Okay, fast forward. So Rock takes Kanan to school, actually, and she's telling him, listen, Kanan, I'm scared. And as long as we are both afraid, that's going to keep us cautious. You feel me? So yeah, as long as we are both afraid, that's going to keep us both cautious. That's going to keep us alert. So she takes Kanan to school. And from there, we see Davina Harrison, Kanan's crush, girlfriend of Buck 20, who Kanan then, you know. She in a fight. She gets into a fight with another girl over Buck 20. You hear the girl that she's fighting with say, Buck 20 wasn't shit. He was with me the night before. He ain't love you, yada, yada, yada. Davina, she ain't trying to hear that. They get the mixing, and Davina giving that girl the business. So, you know, she got that buzz up. They like, damn, she bad and she could throw down. She nice with these. So Kanan's watching this unfold, him and his friends. We start to see Kanan feel bad, slowly but surely. You know, the guilt is going to weigh on him throughout this episode, especially when he is face-to-face and talking with Davina throughout this episode. So, you know, that's when it really hits him. He's like, damn, like, I really, you know what I'm saying? Look at the effect that it's having on this girl. So, From there, we got Unique talking to Rock, and they meet up, and I feel like this was pivotal because Unique is telling her, "Yo, listen, I called off my troops, but I can't control what's gonna happen. You know, Buck 20 got his own crew, so you know how the streets go. A body need to be dropped." So, you know, he basically telling Rock, look, it is what it is out here. If somebody get got, if Kanan get got, he get got. So, you know, Rock, so she knows y'all, yo, you know, so it's like, damn. It may not be no end to this unless a body turn up in the streets. Moving forward, we're going to go to Omar Epps, who is playing, I guess he, good cop, bad cop, lead detective in this series. Forgive me, y'all. I don't know Omar Epps' name in this show. I ain't catch it. Or it slipped my mind right now. But that's all right. Anyway, there's a scene where he is talking to Unique, Joey Badass, surrounded amongst his crew or whatever. The vibes that we get from Omar Epps' character is he's definitely a cop that knows the street. Seems like he might have had a past, meaning he either was in the streets involved or it might be a little dirty cop in him. Omar Epps is talking to Unique, his character, and yeah, he just got them vibes. Like he got a little, you know what I'm saying? He got a little dirt to him. You know, he one of them. He either want to do whatever it takes to get the job done, or he don't care as long as he, you know what I'm saying? He don't mind getting his hands dirty a little bit. So he got them vibes. Like he can't really fully be trusted. He's not that good of a cop. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, he's talking to Unique, and he basically tells Unique, listen, these streets ain't been the same since Rock took over for Post, which was her fallen boyfriend. So you already know it can only be room for one king. So he basically kind of makes a deal with Unique, or lets him know, hey, that top spot can be yours. Basically, I'll see to it that everything is off of your back as long as you can promise me I can't have no more young bodies on the street. So it's kind of like he made a deal, like they had like some little quick arrangement to like work together to basically get Rock out of there. And Unique was kind of saying, yo, you know, that's Rock people, kind of throwing her under the bus a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out between Unique and Rock. I mentioned this before. I mean, two head dealers fighting over territory, your crew, my crew. It can only be one. So we're going to see if Unique, if he works with Omar Epps to potentially bring Rock down. We'll see how that plays out. I will say that I predict, what y'all think is going to happen to Kanan's mother? Eventually, I'm going to assume Kanan's mother dies eventually. It may not be this first season. We early. Never really mentioned what happened, anything about Kanan's family in the first installment of Power, but I'm assuming his mother gets killed. I don't know. Do you guys think Unique had anything to do with that? Let me know. What do y'all think happens for Unique? Eventually he gets taken out? I think eventually everybody gonna get wet. That's Power, that's how it go. Does Kanan eventually rise up in the game and take out Unique? Or do these two sides go at war? Because clearly they can't trust each other, Rock and Unique. So it's gonna be interesting to me to see how that story unfolds as the series goes on. Now, interesting notes, what we got? Uncle Marvin. Uncle Marvin had a thing for white girl Nicole. Nicole loved her nose candy. He was smitten kind of for her over in this episode. Again, looking back on it, who knows if that's some game just to use Nicole. You know, Nicole is the one who Raquel set up to lose her dog. Poor dog. But who knows if Uncle Marvin is plotting just to keep this white girl close for some type of leverage or advantage, or if he really got the jungle fever. But there was a scene later on where he excuse me, when he was throwing a party at her club and started beating some dudes up over her. Man was getting a little too frisky, a little too friendly, and he was like, yo, nobody touches my woman. So we will see how that story plays out moving forward. Uncle Marvin will be clapping those cheeks, I'm sure. And we already know that white girl Nicole, she down with the brown, so it don't even matter. Like, you give her a little fix, and she good to go. But I digress. In this episode, we also continue to see the evolution of Jukebox and her character. We again see her with her interest. Our girlfriend looks like Jukebox. They had a little situation, you know what I'm saying? We got a white girl from, look like this white girl is of somebody. She might come from some money or whatever. And, you know, who knows? Jukebox, man, it looks like she thought that the girl might have thought less of her or whatever in a sense. When she offered to pay for her shirt, that was like $65. And Juke felt the way. But anyway, get past that. Looks like Juke getting a little bit more comfortable. We actually see them make out in the scene. So looks like the last episode she was like kind of struggling to like embrace her sexuality and how she felt. And as time goes on, she's only gonna get more comfortable with it. So looking forward to see how that story plays out. Also, we saw Jukebox hustling in this episode. So you know what's funny? As of yet, we only 2 episodes in, but she ain't really had no ties into the family business as of yet. So I want to see how Jukebox gets involved. Does Kanan reel her in as he get deeper in the game? Or, you know what I'm saying, what happens? And with her father being Marvin and all that. So to see how Juke, like again, we just saw her hustling, selling that fresh polo clothes. Again, the early 90s thing is really dope because they really doing that, even with the fashion and everything. So we saw Juke hustling, but we ain't see her dealing, you know, and really get in the street and with the family organization. So how she gets involved, looking forward to see that story play out as well. Now, D Wizz. It's a damn shame what happened to D Wizz. You know, there was a scene where Uncle Lulu and Rock, they pulled up on D Wizz and Fame. And, you know, seemed pretty, you know, innocent at first, you know. Raquel's basically saying, hey, you know, you guys, I just want to look out for you boys. You know, she may seem like, hey, these are Kanan's friends. You guys are in this together. I want to make sure you're all safe. Here, D Wizz discloses to her and Uncle Lulu that he has a brother that just got home from jail. And I think this triggered something in Rock's mind to say, okay, apparently your brother was known as a wild boy. Perhaps the guns that were used were his. He may have had them stashed in the house. I bring this up because we see Raquel say this to Kanan later on in the episode. When she asks where he got the guns that they used to take out Buck 20, if he got them from D Wizz. And she tells him, you know, okay, I ain't trying to get D Wizz in trouble or whatever. I'm just thinking if his brother was really like that, he might have a stash around. So, I say that to say I think that initial interaction with D Wizz earlier set the trigger in her mind that, okay, if it was D Wizz's gun, we might be able to use this somehow. Like from there, he was seen as a liability, as like, how can I say it? A sacrificial lamb, so to speak. Like, okay, the pressure's on. The pressure's on. A body got to turn up, and we know it wasn't going to be Kanan's. So I think from there, she kind of got like, okay, we might have to sacrifice D Wizz and get him out of here. Not saying she wanted to do it, but I think that's where that came from initially. Because, as we see in another scene, where Raquel tells Uncle Lulu, it might be time for you to get your Reggie Jackson on. Now, what you mean Reggie Jackson? You know, baseball player, knock him out the park, home run. We don't know what Reggie Jackson meant, but we knew that it was something, it was cold, and it was something that Uncle Lulu seemed like he really wasn't trying to do. At first, Rock tells him, look, I don't like it any more than you do. Fast forward, cap it all with D Wizz, we're going to end like this. So basically the plan was in motion to set D Wizz up. Raquel, when she goes out for Night of Town, when she go out with her interest, I forgot the man's name. I don't know. He looked like the smooth, little pretty New Jack City boy. I don't know. Whatever his name is. When She goes out with him. She says, "Hey, Kanan, tell D Wizz to come out tonight. Tell him to stay over the crib with you tonight, or whatever the case may be." I guess this was just to get him out the house, to to get things in motion. So Kanan gets in contact with D Wizz. D Wizz thinks he's going over to Kanan's house to spend the night, and they just gonna watch movies. As D Wizz is out, Uncle Lulu pulls up on him, tells him to come out with him, change of plans. They gonna party tonight. He don't know what he was in for, but the spot they going to, he told D Wizz that Kanan was gonna be there, and it was gonna be the best night of his life. So now, when they got to Uncle Marvin's party, Uncle Lulu, yeah, he had things in motion. Had a girl. Now let me say this. I don't know how old this woman. This was a grown woman, 30, 40 something. This woman was grown. Ain't Kanan and them in high school? How old is they? 14? 17? They 14, I don't know. 14 to 17, they in high school. They not of age. Anyway, Uncle Lulu sets it up for the lady, little trick friend, to go in a room with D Wizz and break him off something. We see D Wizz clapping those cheeks. D Wizz has some crazy facial expressions. First of all, D Wizz, I don't know if that was his first time in some yams, some sweet watery guts, but yeah, it was like he couldn't take no more, or them yams was just that good. So D Wizz, him and the chick, they getting it in. He living it up, having the time, and yeah, man. So I guess how it folded, I guess they set him up. At least he went out, I guess, on a good note. Who knows? Now the last scene of the show happened when Jukebox, we see her in the mirror. She starts singing Whitney Houston, Give a Good Love. And when she starts singing this, she was singing. And then we see a series of events. We see Rock on her date. She tells Main Man, listen, basically in so many words, come clap these cheeks. So we see Kanan mother getting it in. We see D Wizz clapping cheeks. We see Kanan back at home reading the paper, reading the $120 article, very distraught, or whatever the case may be. He's going through it, wondering where his friend is, and he going through grief. And all this is going on as Jukebox is singing that song. And it just was a dope final scene, man. We see Uncle Lulu take D Wizz after D Wizz, was done doing what he was doing. They out and about in the streets somewhere. They taking a leak somewhere, and D Wizz had no idea what was coming to him, man. Basically, long story short, Uncle Lulu took him out. Headshot right to D Wizz. It seemed like he was about to drop a tear before he do it. Like he didn't want to do it, but he had to. So we already know Uncle Lulu, wild, ruthless. I guess if something needs to be done, whoever needs to be the hitter of the family, I guess it's him. And come to find out, this was something that him and Rock had set in motion. And that's cold, man. That's cold because this was Kanan's best friend. This was Kanan's best friend. And for them to do that, I guess, again, like I said, it ends to a mean sacrificial lamb. A body had to drop. And we knew it wasn't going to be Kanan. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Do y'all like how D Wizz went out? Or did D Wizz go out too soon? Because that was some real gangster stuff, but that was dirty. That was grimy. So, from there, all in all, that's basically a recap I got for you guys. But y'all let me know. Moving forward in the next episode, we will continue to see how this affects Kanan, obviously. Him losing his best friend and the guilt and the shame that he's going to feel, feeling like he brought this upon himself. And is he going to find out the truth? That, hey, Uncle Lulu took D Wizz out. And your mother set this up. Probably not. He's probably going to think it just was a casualty of war. That D Wizz was just an innocent bystander. well, not innocent bystander, but you know, that it was just a retaliation from Unique's crew. And that was that. So he's gonna feel guilty about that, not really knowing the full story, maybe. What's interesting is we did see that Jukebox did spot D Wizz in Uncle Lulu's car though. So maybe that's information that will be disclosed to Kanan. So y'all let me know what y'all think is gonna happen moving forward as this season progresses. The way Kanan's family moves, they are very ruthless, and we can really see why Kanan was the way that he was. But do y'all think that he even trusts his family? Do y'all think that, like, moving forward, as he elevates and goes through the game, does he, like, break away from his family? What y'all think? Who knows? That will be interesting. But, yeah, the next episode, see how it plays out. Also, Omar Epps' character told Unique, no more young bodies. So that's another bad thing. D Wizz was a young body. So we gotta see, you know what I'm saying, how that's gonna play out. Pressure from whoever it may be, the cops, from Unique's crew. Because Unique's crew gonna be like, damn, we didn't do that. What happened? So there's a lot of dynamics, and there's a lot of storytelling, obviously still left to be told. Looking forward to it all. But that's pretty much the power recap that I got for you guys today, or the Raising Kanan recap that I got for you guys today. If you are new to the channel, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button, as it is greatly appreciated and helps me out a great deal. And this channel is new and growing. Hit that subscribe button for me, and I'll keep these Raising Kanan recaps coming for you guys, as well as plenty more reactions and videos on the way. So, with that being said, I appreciate y'all time. Y'all stay safe out there. It's summertime. Be outside. I go by the name of D Wizz. Peace.